What up, y'all? It's Devin with Up TV, aka the Dot Connector, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Now, I'm very appreciative that all of y'all made it into the live stream tonight. I know that it's late, and I know that a lot of people have things to do tomorrow, but tonight's video is a very special video because we have to talk about what's happening in the world. We have to talk about the times that we are in right now, and right now we are in very difficult times right now. We are in times where we can clearly see that it is the end times. And so what I'm going to do in tonight's video is I'm going to take y'all through some of the most recent headlines that I've seen, and I'm going to show y'all why it's important. So let me get there real quick. But before I get started, I want to give a shout out to JJ Mack, who just became a member of the channel. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you guys can hear me, let me get a W in the chat. Can I get a W in the chat if you guys can hear me just fine? Because I'm new to this program, never used it before, so I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me and that everything is getting across. Can I get a W in that chat if y'all can hear me? Anybody, just put a W in the chat if you can hear me. Nobody can hear me. Okay, bet. I'm seeing W's now. All right. Let me get to this real quick. Now, I want to show y'all something very important. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the book of Matthew. All right. Let me see. Can y'all see my screen? Let me get a W if you can see what's on my screen right now. You should see a Bible verse, Matthew 24. Okay. All right. So anyways, Matthew 24, Jesus talks about the signs that we'll see in the last days, right? And these signs are very important to know, because if you know these signs, then you know what to look for his return, right? And it says, and Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. And we see that happening in the world right now, right? We see many false teachers rising. We see many people rising up, claiming to be Christ. And we see many people deceiving people on TikTok, on YouTube, on all these different social media platforms right now, right? Many people are coming up and they're claiming that they are Christ. You can look this up yourself, but I'm not going to get there because we'll be stuck on that all night. What I really want to talk about is this next thing. Okay, Jesus said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, and right now we know we have a major war breaking out between Russia and Ukraine. And some of the most recent headlines are scary. Now, I'm not making tonight's video to scare anybody. Okay, have no fear, saints. Okay, the only thing that you should fear is the Most High, period. Don't fear anything of this world, okay? But we have to pay attention to the signs because Jesus told us to watch for the signs. All right. So it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. So listen, look at this headline right here. It says, Putin wants to take the world with him when he dies, and the decision about using tactical nukes has already been made, says political expert behind claims over Vladimir's health. All right. So right now, Putin really wants to take the whole world with him. He wants to nuke the whole world. He feels like to himself, he feels like if he's dying, then everybody else has to die with him. The world should not go on without Vladimir Putin. Okay. And this is very important to understand, fam, because right now what you need to understand is that the Most High it's not going to be long. We are in the season of the end times, right? So what we need to be doing right now is we need to be getting our life right with Christ. We need to be obeying his commandments, okay? And we need to not fall asleep. I'm going to get to that later on because Jesus said don't fall asleep in these times, all right? Look at this headline right here. It says, Biden says risk of nuclear Armageddon at its highest level since 1962, Cuban Missile Crisis. All right, and I'm going to get to all this, but let me read some of this real quick. It says, President Joe Biden said Thursday that the risk of nuclear Armageddon is at its highest level since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, as Russian officials speak of the possibility of using tactical nuclear weapons after suffering massive setbacks in the 8-month invasion of Ukraine. Speaking at a fundraiser for the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, Biden said Russian President Vladimir Putin was a guy I know fairly well. And the Russian leader was not joking when he talks about the use of tactical nuclear weapons or biological or chemical weapons. Biden added, we have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy. Listen, man, Jesus said we will hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a video that I put together for y'all. I want y'all to see some of these clips. I want y'all to see what's going on in the world right now. And then when the video's over, I'm going to come back and we'll discuss some of it. Let's go. I'm going to roll the film right now. Hit me up with that W if you can see the film. Give me 1 minute. I'll get it fixed. Hold on. I don't know why it's not playing. Hold on. Man, this is crazy, y'all. Stick around with me, yo. Stick around with me real quick, though. I got y'all. Hold on. Yeah, the devil's working. I see that. The devil's working right now. He's trying to stop this from happening. But I'm going to show y'all this truth right here. Hold on.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
All right, can y'all see what I see now?
Unleash
me
hell.
up with a W.
Russian President Vladimir Putin now threatening to use nuclear weapons, and Putin says, I'm not bluffing.
The saber rattling comes as President Biden is heading now to the United Nations. That happens later today to address the General Assembly about the war in Ukraine.
Putin's humiliated already. What will he do? We can't tell.
Well, next today, the United States is upping its efforts to protect its citizens from the impact of any radiological and nuclear emergencies. The US Health Department is purchasing a drug that treats blood cell injuries caused due to acute radiation syndrome in adults and pediatric patients. The drug, called Nplate, is being purchased from the California-based company called Amgen. Nplate treats acute radiation syndrome, which is also known as radiation sickness. It occurs when a person is exposed to a high dose of penetrating radiation.
Take a look at this. On its official government website, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has announced the purchase of anti-radiation drugs to the tune of more than $290 million. Marnie, that anti-radiation drug is being manufactured right here in the United States at a California-based pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, a significant move, Nick, and talks to the seriousness of the issue. Is the U.S. the only country making this radiation drug?
Marnie, actually, no. Ukraine, Poland, and other neighboring countries have already started to hand out iodine tablets, and the U.S. officials have definitely told News Nation that the purchase of this anti-radiation drug is part of an ongoing effort of preparedness in an emergency.
A scary thought. All right, Nick.
Let's begin with President Biden's stark warning about Russia. He said the world is at its highest risk of a nuclear, quote, Armageddon since the darkest days of the Cold War. The president's dire warning coming after Vladimir Putin threatened the West with nuclear weapons and ordered the mobilization of 300,000 Russian troops to fight in his war against Ukraine. Speaking at a fundraiser in New York, the president said this: "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis. We are trying to figure out, what is Putin's off-ramp? Where does he find a way out?" He's not joking when he talks about potential use of tactical nuclear weapons or biological or chemical weapons.
The world is now closer to the nuclear apocalypse than in the Cuban Missile Crisis. The cause is the Russian President Vladimir Putin, who seriously intends to demonstrate the capabilities of nuclear weapons, tactical nuclear weapons. Putin cannot allow himself to be defeated. He has two tools left in his sleeve: mobilization, which he is using, and nuclear weapons. He is in very poor psychological health. The president is not able to adequately assess the situation and make proper decisions. The state of his health is such that he has a very strong desire to take the world with him. He knows that he will pass away in a limited time, and how is it possible for the world to carry on without him? Why should the world exist without its genius leader, Vladimir Putin? Don't be deluded. Do not hope that someone in the Russian establishment will stop Putin. The decision in principle about the use or demonstration of tactical nuclear weapons has been made. The question is how, when, and where.
With each humiliating loss on the battlefield, military experts worry Putin might lash out with chemical or tactical nuclear weapons. For more on what that would mean, here's CBS's David Martin.
Russia could launch short-range nuclear weapons against Ukraine from aircraft, from the sea, or from the ground. Here's what it looked like back in the 1950s when the U.S. Army fired a nuclear artillery shell into the desert.
So how powerful are they? Very wide range, everything from down to 1 kiloton up to tens of kiloton.
The atomic bomb which leveled Hiroshima was 15 kilotons. Russia has between 1,000 and 2,000 short-range nuclear weapons at storage sites around the country, including one close to the Ukrainian border.
They would first have to be brought out of the bunker and then flown to the unit where they attach it to the launcher.
What would the United States do once a nuclear weapon went off?
I think that our response would be to attempt to de-escalate.
Retired Major General Heidi Brown is a former director of operations for U.S. Strategic Command. In the war games that you've played, when the other side uses a nuclear weapon and the U.S. tries to de-escalate, does it work?
It eventually works, but it's a game.
Fears of a real Armageddon are likely to grow if Russia goes ahead with a nuclear exercise expected to begin the middle of this month. The last time Russia conducted this particular exercise was earlier this year, just before Putin invaded Ukraine.
Putin's new draft has men abandoning their homes and in some cases their families in order to avoid fighting a war against Ukraine that they do not support. CNN's Ivan Watson is in Kazakhstan right now, where 200,000 Russians have arrived just this week looking for refuge.
Russians abandoning their homeland. Russian President Vladimir Putin's order to conscript men to fight in his war in Ukraine has created an exodus of Russian draft dodgers. They line up daily here in neighboring Kazakhstan to register with the local authorities. The Kazakh government says more than 200,000 Russians fled to this country in less than 2 weeks.
Yes, we ran away from Russia.
Vadim and Alexei fled Moscow last week to escape the draft.
We don't want this war, and we not recognize our position, our government.
Many of Russia's land borders choked for weeks with long lines as citizens run for the exits. Draft dodgers traveling by land wait days in line or pay big money for scarce plane tickets to escape. And that's just the first step. Every day, more Russians arrive at this train station in Almaty with their backpacks, and they all tell you the same thing. They were afraid they could be sent to fight in Ukraine, and they abandoned their country on very short notice. This married couple left together. Did you come because of the mobilization for the war in Ukraine?
It was a final kick to start our journey, I guess.
Yeah. Were you afraid that you would have to go fight in the war?
Yeah, it's not something I want to participate in.
The flood of new arrivals surprising local business owners, like the operator of a co-working space in the center of Almaty.
This gentleman just walked in. Is this unusual to see?
Very usual. Every day is like this. They come in with huge suitcases because they couldn't find a place for living, and they come in here for working and sitting and looking for some accommodation.
These are fresh arrivals from
Yeah,
Russia.
Yeah.
Arriving
So
with the
still-
backpack
yes.
on their back.
In this city, hundreds of miles from the Russian border, I spoke with dozens of newly arrived Russians, ranging from doctors.
If we refuse to go to this war, we should go to the jail.
To engineers, IT specialists, and university students.
You ran away from Russia.
Yeah, from mobilization, from
military service.
Yeah.
Most don't want to be identified to protect loved ones still in Russia.
How can I take part in the war without a wish to win this war?
This man says Putin's draft left him no other choice but to flee the country, leaving his wife and child behind.
We do not trust our government. We do not believe in what they say.
Now look, I'm not here to put fear in anybody. I already said that at the beginning of this live stream. I'm only here to report the news. You feel me? I'm here to show y'all what Jesus was talking about. We are living in the last days. You understand me? These are the times that these are the things that we need to be watching for in these times, right? So when people say, why CNN? Ask yourself, why Fox News? Why MSNBC? Why any of these mainstream networks, right? Because they're the ones who are pushing out this fear. They're the ones who's pushing out this propaganda. The Lord said you will hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? So what I'm here to do is I'm here to report the news to you and tell you why you don't need to fall asleep in these times, why you need to get your life right with Christ right now. All right. And I'm going to break it down for you. Amen. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Matthew chapter 24, verse 36 through 44 says this. Let me get my screen up so y'all can see. It says, but concerning that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son. So again, I'm not here to put fear in you. I'm not here to say that Jesus is coming back tomorrow or in a month from now or next year or whenever. I'm just here to tell you and show you the signs that Jesus told us to watch for, right? We are on the brink of World War III right now, okay? And so if that's not signs of the times, if Putin saying that he wants to nuke the whole world and take the whole world with him when he dies, if that's not signs of the times, then I don't know what is, saints. All right. But it says, for as in those days before the flood, let me go back. It says, for as were the days of Noah, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day when Noah entered the ark. And they were unaware until the flood came and swept them all away. So will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken and one left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken and one left. Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known in what part of the night that the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would have not let his house be broken into. Therefore, you must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. All right. So listen, all I'm here to say is that, saints, we need to be watching for the Most High, because the times that we are living in right now are definitely the end times. Okay. So when people are tripping because they're like, bro, why you spreading fear? Why you using CNN and MSNBC and all these mainstream networks? Listen, I'm just here to report the news. I'm not here to instill fear into anybody. I'm not here to do that. Okay? Can y'all still hear me? Hit me with a W. Listen. Luke Kane said, God ain't slow. 1,000 years is a day to the Lord. Y'all better understand that God is, see, it's a lot of people who's mocking the Most High right now. They like, where your God at? Didn't your God say that he was coming 1,000 years from now? Didn't your God say that? You know what I'm saying? No, listen, God is not slow as some people understand slowness. You understand me? The Most High is coming back. And if you're not ready, if you're not prepared, okay, if you have not dedicated yourself to the Lord, you will suffer the consequences, because there's consequences to being disobedient to the Most High. Okay, a lot of people probably don't really know this, but that's why y'all need to go back to the basics. Go back and read Genesis. Go back and read Exodus. Go back and read the Torah. Okay, the Most High was going to kill Moses for being disobedient. You feel me? So in these times, we must really take this seriously. We can't look at these news reports and say, oh, well, it's CNN, so I'm going to ignore it. No, this is what's really happening in the world right now. Do you understand that? The Lord said there will be wars and rumors of wars, right? Okay. We are in an endless war right now in the Middle East, a war that has not ended, a war on terror that has not ended. We got brothers and sisters in China being persecuted for their faith, for their beliefs, taken off to concentration camps. Okay. A lot of y'all need to get this book right here. Okay. This book is called The Perfect Police State, and it tells you all about China's surveillance system and how they are doing the people there. Okay. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description so y'all can you purchase it if you want to, or go pick it up at your local Barnes and Nobles. I don't really care. I'm just trying to tell y'all that we are definitely in those times, and it's coming to here in America, right? It's already happening in Canada if you look at the news reports. So this live stream that I'm doing today, this is my first time using this program. I've already made a lot of mistakes today, but I am going to be back on Friday with another truther. Okay. And his name is Sacramental Truth Movement. Okay. And I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description as well. And he wants to come on the channel and he wants to talk about something very important. And I'm not going to tell y'all what that topic is right now because I'm going to let it be a surprise. But it's something that I've been wanting to talk about since I started this channel. Okay. But understand that I'm not here to put fear in y'all, man. Okay. But if you're going to say I'm putting fear in you, then say that Jesus was putting fear in the disciples when he said what he said. You understand me? No, we're not putting fear in you. I'm not putting fear in you. Jesus ain't putting fear in you. Other believers aren't putting fear in you. We're trying to make you alert and wake you up so that way you're not asleep and caught off guard when that day comes. Because when that day comes, it's going to be a normal day. People are going to be chilling. People are going to be partying. People are going to be drinking. People are going to be doing whatever they want to do. But when that trumpet sounds, people are not going to be ready. People, the Most High is coming like a thief in the night. Okay. If you knew when that thief was coming, you would prepare your home automatically. Okay. You would get ready for that thief to come. But since you don't know when a thief is coming, just like you don't know when the Most High is coming, then what you must do is at all times be prepared, all times be alert, all times be watching. You feel me? So I just made today's video to show y'all what's going on in the world today, show y'all what Biden's talking about, show y'all what Putin's talking about. Putin wants to take the world with him when he dies. Okay. He wants to nuke the world. Okay. And look, in my opinion, personally, they definitely have a plan to nuke some part of the world. Are they going to nuke the whole world and end the world? No, because that's not scripture. So we know that's not going to happen. But what we know is that these people want to bring about this great reset. And one of the great ways they're going to do it is through war. One of the ways that they're going to bring in their new world order is through war. It's going to be so many different problems in the world. These problems that we already see rising right now, right? It's going to be so many problems in the world that when this great reset hits, people they're not going to be prepared. They're not going to know what to do. Okay. United States will probably get nuked. Okay. I wouldn't even be surprised if we woke up one day and it actually happened. So be prepared, be on guard, be ready, not living a life of fear, for fearing the things of this world, but fear the Most High, who can destroy the body and the soul. You feel me? So get prepared, get right with Christ. I love you, family, and I'll holla at y'all later, man. Be easy. I'll be back on Friday, okay? And I'm going to be back with a newer video. I'm not even going to tell y'all what it is. I got something in the works right now. So before Friday, I got something else coming for y'all too. But I love y'all, family, and I'll holla at y'all later.